Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Okay,
Wednesday.
it's definitely Wednesday. Thanks for joining us here in the KTAL News Now Digital Streaming Center. My name is Brittany DeFran, and I am joined by a very new special guest. Tim Owens is the new sports director. He is coming back to Shreveport. He was here just a few years ago, went away to Knoxville, and he's back. Thanks for joining us in the Digital Center, Tim. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. Me, my wife, my kids, all happy to be back here in the Shreveport-Bossier area. It's home for my wife. She grew up here. My kids have only really grown up here, and I've spent the better part of a decade here. So, we're really happy to be back.
Well, it's so happy to have you back. And today, specifically because we are getting into the nitty gritty of Marsh Madness. So if you're joining us here, you're interested in all of the high school basketball highlights, what's been going on in that race for the state title, championship title. So we're going to get into all of that here. We're going to look back a little bit, starting off with Parkway as they win the state championship title. What were your most highlight moments from watching them take away that title?
Well, the biggest thing is they got a little redemption against Ponchatoula last year. They lost in double overtime. Just a thrilling, heartbreaking loss for the Panthers last year in the championship game, and then they come back and they get a rematch with Ponchatoula, and they took it out on them. They really handled things. Chloe Larry had a really good game. Mikaylah Williams absolutely took over the game. She had over 30 points, and she showed why LSU is so excited to get her down there to Baton Rouge to play for the Lady Tigers next season. So, and I talked to Mikaylah a little bit. Like 2 weeks ago, it was right before they won the championship, and we talked about her recruitment, and because I had just covered Tennessee at my last job, so I was asking her about the Lady Vols and how her recruitment went and stuff, and she said there was no place she wanted to be more than Baton Rouge. So that was kind of cool to talk to her about that, but yeah, that's the thing that I took away is they got a really good chance at redemption, and they took advantage of it.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely watching some of those highlight videos and seeing her just honestly absolutely ball out. I mean, it was just so clean, so swift, and really cool to see a team like that when you come off a loss and all season you just have one goal, one motivation, and you really see their drive throughout that game. So it was really awesome to see them pull off that win, and now they're looking to another season. They still have a few key players there like Chloe Larry. What do you think about that? How do you think they'll come back next season?
Well, I think they're going to be good, and I can tell you this, the Larry family in South Bossier is just full of athletes. Her older brother plays baseball at Mississippi State, so it's a family that all they do is win. They won when her older brother and some of her other family members, cousins, played at Parkway in the different sports, and so I will never bet against the Larry family. So I do think that Chloe will have them right back in the mix, maybe not at the level they were at this year, but still in the mix for, making a trip down to wait, where is the girls? It's in, it's at Southeastern, down to Southeastern for the state championships. They keep moving them. They used to all be at Burton Coliseum, and now the girls are at Southeastern, and the boys are over at McNeese, so. But yeah, so they'll be in the mix, I think, to go down to Southeastern and play for a state championship.
Well, definitely going to be exciting to see, the kind of fire that they bring in next season for sure. Are there any last thoughts or points you want to make in regards to the Parkway team?
Well, just Mikaylah Williams, and this is something that I hope there's some young kids listening because, mainly my daughters, I hope they're listening because this is a girl who thrived on the basketball court, but she's never had a B. She's a great student. She's a great young lady. Like I said, I had a chance to talk to her, and it was just pure happenstance. I walked into Parkway High School trying to go to a signing for one of their football players, and she happened to be working in the office, and then she showed me my way down to the auxiliary gym. So I had a chance to, bend her ear a little bit and talk to her about her academics and her recruitment and all of that stuff. And she's just a great young lady and, somebody who works so hard both on the basketball court and in the classroom. I just love seeing the success she's having.
I love that you brought that up, actually. Yeah, that is honestly so cool of her. I mean, she has accomplished so much athletically, but then to be able to still be doing so well academically, like you said, an inspiration to those younger kiddos out there who are striving to be student athletes. So really, really good role model for some younger kids out there. And she has a very bright future ahead of her for sure. All right, let's go ahead and let's move forward here. So we are looking at a team that is kind of getting rolling right now, right this moment as we speak. We are looking at Huntington as they are getting started. They are playing right now. And we're looking to see, they're in the semifinals. We're looking to see if they can clinch for the final game, right? And so they're up against Scotlandville at 3 p.m. right now at Burton Coliseum. So that game is going on right now. And throughout, we have an update because we are going to be providing you with updates throughout the show. So let's turn to Tim. What we got?
Well, according to the Twitter, according to John Satori on Twitter, we have, I lost it. There it is. They both teams have come out firing. Back-to-back threes have the Hornets on top early, so Scotlandville leads 10-6 over Huntington with 4:54 to go in the first quarter. That's according to our sports reporter, John Sartori.
Sorry about that. Here you can take a look at the brackets that we have right here from LHSAA.
It screwed me all the time when I first moved here. It's the LHSAA.
Wow, okay, that really got me. Okay, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to let Tim take care of that. But we have Huntington and Scotlandville, as you can see right here at 3 p.m. at the Burton Coliseum. Throughout our show, like we said, we're going to go ahead and provide you with updates. Our very own John Satori is there, our sports reporter. He'll be providing us with highlights, not just right now during the show, but also make sure that you tune in later today at Fox 33 and NBC 6.
Fox 33 and at 6 o'clock with Dan and Jackie.
Awesome. Yeah, so to make sure to tune in. But we're going to continue here for a little bit talking about some other teams in regards to in the race for that state championship title. I mean, Bossier, another one close to home. They swept Wassman last night, sealing their deal for that, going into that final game. They were also another team that were coming for almost like that revenge energy because they missed their opportunity last year. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it feels like there's a big rivalry between Wassman and Bossier, and it goes back several years. I know that when Bossier won their last state championship, when was that, 2020, they beat Wassman in that championship game. Well, last year, Wassman knocks Bossier out in the semifinals, and this year Bossier knocks Wassman out in the semifinals. Now Wassman was the number 1 seed, so they were expected, obviously to go and win a state championship or at least play for a state championship. And kind of Bossier outside of Northwest Louisiana was kind of an afterthought. The folks down south, the fans down south were just kind of like, it's Bossier, whatever. They'll run right through them, and Wassman will be playing Carroll or Iowa for the state championship. But then Bossier came and showed something yesterday. They showed something. They didn't score a lot of points. They played well defensively. They rebounded the basketball well, and they a really gritty, hard-fought win. It's not the Bossier of old that we were used to seeing. Draining all the threes and up and down the court fast, and they still do those things. But they won with their defense yesterday, and that's something that, if you can play that kind of defense and you can rebound the basketball that way, you're always going to be in the game.
No, yeah, that's definitely interesting to hear that they led with their defense to kind of take that win away. And just definitely a team that is really striving to make it to the end and coming off a season that where the win slipped away and even the lead player there who recently won the Player of the Week. Sorry, remind me to say Taj. Yes, Taj. Yeah, and he even said it that they slipped away last season and they're extremely determined this year.
One of the things he said in the post-game press conference yesterday, he said it just like this. He looked right at the camera, he looked right at John Sartori, and he said, "We've waited 365 days for this, and we got it done tonight, and we still got one more to get."
Job's not done. Job's not done, as they usually say. That's going to be really exciting. And then that game, they're going to be playing. They'll face Carroll on Friday. Am I saying that right, Carroll?
Yes, I believe so. Sometimes when it's outside of our viewing area and I see these names and I go, uh-oh. I didn't look that one up, but I'm assuming that one's Carroll. Now, the team they played in the semifinals, Iowa, is spelled I-O-W-A. That looks like Iowa to me. I don't know, but it's Iowa. So, I think it's Carroll. I think that you pronounced that right. It's at 6 o'clock on Friday. And see, we'll have Sam Rothman down there on Friday and Saturday for state championship games as well.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, things are going to be popping off because we also got a few other games, matchups that we'll be looking at as well. Here, let's take a look here. So we also have the matchup. So of course, Bossier, Carroll, we got that one down, and then Calvary. Yeah,
Calvary's gonna play Isidore Newman.
Yep, that's gonna be on Friday as well, and then after that is Wally and Anago. But let's go back and let's talk a little bit about Calvary here. They're a team that's they're heading into state finals. They kind of clinched that a little early. That game was on,
that was on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, that game was Monday night. A little earlier than I would have expected one of our teams, one of our bigger schools to be playing. But there's a funny story about that. And I don't know if you know the story, but so on Monday morning, head coach Victor Morris, he's Calvary's head coach, his wife. 1, 2, 3. So he stayed back. Obviously, did what every good husband and father would do. He stayed back. He stayed with his wife, and they had a little baby on Monday. So the coach on that. Well, who's better than Coach McDowell, who is in the LSU Shreveport Hall of Fame? He's one of the most successful coaches in LSU Shreveport basketball history. So he took over, and they didn't miss a beat, and they played really well, and they came away with a win to head back to their third straight state championship game. So I always think that little stories like that are kind of what makes sports special. And again, I like to see that Coach Morris said, "No, I gotta stay here with my wife because I can tell you, as a married man, I would have stayed here."
He made the good choice. He made a good choice, and then it paid off because the team still came with a win. And absolutely, like you said, that's a beautiful, cute story that will be able to, stay in that family. They'll be able to tell their daughter. You said they had a baby girl. Okay.
Earlier this week, I believe.
That's so precious. She's always gonna hear that story. She's like, well, at least you guys won.
I didn't ruin it, Dad. I didn't ruin it.
That is awesome. Love those little nuggets, like you said. And so, yeah. Any other important thoughts? I mean, they're gonna play Isidore Newman, 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's where the Mannings went to high school. So Peyton and Eli and Cooper Manning, obviously a football fan, but that's the high school that they went to.
Actually, I did not know that, so that is very cool. I think it's going to be a good game, a good early game, so maybe there'll be a lot of eyes on it because a lot of people will be able to watch it, and we'll, of course, provide you guys with updates, so stay tuned with us. Another team that we're looking at that is heading to run for that state final championship title. I'm like mixing up the words, like I'm just creating like this whole title for the game. But anyways, Wally is going up against yeah.
Wally. I don't know how I would have pronounced it, but that's not how I would have pronounced it the first time I said it.
I'm thankful that someone said it to me first. I didn't have to say it first. So you guys taught me. Yeah, we definitely have to like double check all pronunciations here in Louisiana. You guys don't want to upset you, okay? And then Zwali and Anacoco. Okay. All right, Anacoco, and that's also Friday at 8 p.m. So Friday's going to be a jam-packed, busy day full of games.
We're going to have 3 games. I told Sam, because she's driving down that day, I said, it's going to 4.5 hour drive down to Lake Charles, and then she's got to cover 3 games. 2 of them are back to back, and then there's a little space between games. Or no, one game, then a little space, then 2 of them are back to back because Huntington plays Composure plays at 6, and then Zawali at 8. So those 2 games will be back to back. So it's going to be a really tight turnaround for her. But make sure to tune in on Friday, though, because Sam will shoot some great highlights, and we'll have all the highlights and stuff for you on Friday night.
For sure. And then after Friday night, of course, there are a few Saturday games, or just...
if Huntington wins today, we will have 1 game on Saturday.
And then, so after Saturday, so we'll update you after today. We'll stay tuned, because then after Saturday, of course, we always have the Sunday Night Blitz, which that will give you full in-depth coverage on everything that you've missed throughout the week. So if you thought you were catching up here, they're going to catch you up even more on Sunday. But let's take a look over at some updates. Are there any updates on the Huntington game?
Real quick, I'm going to talk a little bit about Zawali. You're okay. No, I didn't answer your question when you asked it. Zawali is one of those teams. I got to cover them in the state championship game several years ago when I played in the state. And it's a very small team. It's a very tight-knit community. And when you go to their game, I was at their semifinal game, their state championship game, there were more people there for a Class B game than there were for some of the big schools. That's a community that really gets behind the Hawks, and they get out there and they are loud, and it is a fun game with a great atmosphere every time I see them play. They are looking for their first state championship since 2017. That was the last time they won the state championship. 2018 and 2019, it was one of those 2 years when I was down there covering them, and they lost in the state championship game in both of those years. So they're looking for that first state title since 2017, and they also played in the state championship game last year as well.
Well, another team that is kind of looking for a first, whenever a school's looking for that first state title, I think that is so epic. And the excitement that you have when you do pull it off, like if you do pull it off, like that is just so awesome. I honestly, like, I truly just love sports for moments like that. Just like seeing like all of our hard work just paid off. It's amazing.
Those are the moments where like the hair on the back of your neck and on your arms stand up. You get the goosebumps because you see these kids, and you see these kids that worked so hard, and they finally get to raise that trophy up or different things like that. So those are always my favorite. When you go cover state championship games, the most fun is not like shooting the game or hanging out with the other media members after the end of the night or any of that kind of stuff. It's when you get to talk to the kids that won a state championship, and they're smiling from ear to ear, and they, some of them are nervous around the camera still, and some of them are comfortable because they already know you, or they're just comfortable on camera. But just seeing how they act and how they react to the camera, and to with their teammates and with their coaches, and you see some of the kids run over, hug their mom, hug their dad, things like that. That's, to me, that's why I got into covering sports, is for those kinds of moments. And that's honestly, that's kind of why we're so happy to be back, is to be able to cover the high school kids, whereas when I was in Tennessee, it was all, University of Tennessee stuff.
No, absolutely. I told you this the other day that, the high school sports here are so exciting. And right now, during those big games, like right now, the race for the state title is really when it gets most exciting. Like you said, these are just, kids, and it really just shows their work ethic, that everything they put on the line to keep their academics up, but also, be full-on athletes, and definitely takes a lot of work, a lot of commitment. So this is just some exciting stuff, and we appreciate you guys all for tuning in to get a little bit of a recap. Before we close, we're not leaving you just yet. We're going to get a brief update. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
It's not good for Huntington, but I do have an update. They trail Scotlandville right now at the end of the first quarter, 22-9. And I'm going to read John's tweet here. He says, Scotlandville is so good. They've got size. They can shoot. Huntington has played well and are still down double digits. Chris Carpenter has 7 points so far for the Raiders. So he has 7. Chris Carpenter has 7 of the Huntington's 9 points. So they really, they've got their work cut out for them down down, what would that be, 13 already after just one quarter of play.
Man, that is tough to hear for them. I mean, they like John said, like they have the size against them, and all that. So, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting as we continue to watch them play. What time do you think this game would end at? They've just started.
It's probably going to end. They started at 3, so it's probably going to end 4:30, before 5 o'clock. So we'll definitely have some highlights of this game at 5:30 with Brittany on the Fox, and at 6 o'clock with Dan and Jackie on NBC.
Absolutely. So don't miss that, you guys. And if you do miss that, of course, we always got you covered right here on KTALnews.com. You can head on over to that sports tab and you can see all the sports coverage. Our sports team, they're always out and about covering it all for you guys so that you don't miss a beat. Make sure to download the KTAL News Now app so that you receive push notifications so that you don't miss a beat. But I think that's all we got for you today. Tim, any last words?
This was fun. We should do this more often.
Well, I'll catch you on the following. We're here bi-weekly, so the next Thursday sports talk. We did it today, Wednesday. We didn't want to miss out on Marsh Madness, but I will be out tomorrow. So thank you all again for tuning in. Be sure to stay updated on KTALnews.com. But for now, we'll see you next time. See ya.